And you mentioned about your art do spark joy as well. And
Mm-hmm.
how does it even spark joy during tough time? Like, do you want to share? Maybe you have some story behind, and how does all this little pretty artwork in front of you, the fluffy artwork, how does it helps you to overcome all this tough period and gives you joy instead of difficulty time?
I think personally, as the creator of Punch Needle artwork at Soulful Punch Studio, it reminds me that I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. That's first thing, because as you see that each piece take time to punch and create, and that's how God created us as well. Secondly, when I started to transit into this role, I think it was a steep learning curve for me. I'm used to work in an organization with a lot of people, and unknowingly, I have set my identity at my workplace because that's where I get my affirmation, satisfaction, and not to mention paycheck. So transiting to a new role to become a stay-at-home mom, uh, it's been tough, especially in the beginning. Things has been easier, but challenges still appear from time to time. So I think during the beginning, especially, I would find myself doubting my decision. I feel like I'm less than others who are contributing to the society, or I'm less than others because I'm not contributing to my family in terms of financial sense. Um, and then I also find that I'm less qualified because what I've learned from early childhood, and I find that now I'm becoming a mom, I find that even though I had those knowledge, I do not meet my own KPI as a mom. So I find that coming back to Punch Needle, where when I had time after the children have slept and I could sit at my little studio space in my study room when I work on the piece, I find that um, it reminds me that I still have the ability to create, and I do find that there are people who appreciate my artwork as well. So I'm excuse me. I'm thankful that there is this platform that God has given me to continue to express, and in a small way, I get to experience the joy of a creator using my hand to create something beautiful. And so when I see my pieces of work hanging on the wall or even on the table that's work in progress, it just brings joy to me that when I make something pretty and I know that whoever buys it later on and they display it at their home, it will certainly bring joy to them as well.
That's a very touching story whereby sharing the transition from having the affirmation at the workplace to a different role is a very drastic change. And I'm happy to share this with our listeners because I believe many people out there do have the same feeling as you. So being a stay-at-home mom, it is a different way of contribution to the society. It's not using the worldview standard that we must
Mm-hmm.
work in order to show that we are of some value. Actually, God gave
Mm-hmm.
us different talent, different
Yep.
uniqueness, and we all have our own contribution one
Yep.
to one and another. That's a wonderful message, and I believe people who buy your artwork will definitely see the joy in it and supporting you as a mom. All right. So how do you juggle as a stay-at-home mom and at the same time doing this difficult punch needle artwork that requires a huge amount of time?
Yeah. I don't know. it's pretty tough. That's why if you have followed me on my Instagram account, Soulful Punch Studio, you would see that I post in season and I do not create as much as I wish I could. Um, I realized that my main job is a stay-at-home mom, and Soulful Punch Studio is my gentle passion on the side that I would like to work on as well. So when my children have slept, that's when I would do my punch needle, whether they are napping or sleeping at night. That's when I work. But these days, I would try to also do some prep work while they're awake. I'm glad that I could do that now. Um, they are slightly grown up, so that's great. But for the actual punching work, I would still prefer to do it while they are sleeping so that I can be in the flow.
I see. Yeah, indeed it's tough, but yeah, when there's a will, there's a way.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
how,
that's right.
what's your motivation for doing this? Maybe this can be a hobby instead of you're selling it. Like maybe just a
Mm-hmm.
hobby to give it away to people. And why do you want to create so many pieces of art and make yourself even tired? Like being a mom is like very, very tired. I can imagine that.
Yes, yeah, I think being a mom is the toughest thing that I've done. um, I think I have met different moms along this journey. Some are in their 40s, 50s, or even 60s, and a few of them have encouraged me to do something on the side while they have walked the same path. They were stay-at-home mom, but they were also into something that fills their cup as well. So I think that this is something that I want to do, and I hope that it would be a little more serious. So I wanted to challenge myself as well to have discipline to create more. And if I just do it as a hobby, I think I would put it aside. But when there is a goal to achieve, such as setting a booth in a bazaar, then it would motivate me to create more diligently. And I'm also excited to see how much more variety or style that I can create as well. I believe that there are much more to explore, even though it is punching, because being able to create and just working with my hands bring me a lot of joy.
That's inspiring. You brought a few couple of points which is worth mentioning. Like, for
Mm-hmm.
example, the group of environment that you are in, you have very supportive mommy group that encourage you to
Mm-hmm.
pursue on this journey. And at the same time, having to instill the discipline is the crucial part of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
That's
I
true.
think, yeah, um, I think God has been good in this journey. Um, like some moms, I only encountered them once. For example, last week I met a mom who is 60 years old. She is no longer caring for her kids because they are all grown up. But during that one off meetup randomly, she encouraged me to do something on the side, and I can see her wisdom in it because it's not just her saying it, but the others as well. And I could also see how joyful she is when she is not having a negative mindset of what she's doing. Like she doesn't put herself down that, oh, I'm just a stay-at-home mom, like I can't do anything about it. But instead she was very positive. She thinks that there's value in and it's worth caring for your own child by yourself. Um, of course, it's based on situation because for some families, the situation doesn't allow. But she also mentioned that doing something on the side to keep you uh, joyful. So I thought that was very meaningful as well. And regarding the discipline part, I think that that's something I need to work on because it can be quite tricky as well. And if I'm not careful with it, if I'm very harsh in instilling discipline, then I would set myself up for disappointment because in my current main role, a stay-at-home mom, I will need to be more flexible to see how much I can work on each day as well, and not beat myself up if I can't meet my target. Yeah,
Yes, the lesson here is to juggle between the discipline and the flexibility and
that's right.
we don't beat ourselves up for the disappointment
Yeah,
along the
yeah,
way and learn from a
yeah.
60 years old mom that is
Oh yes.
motivating.
Yeah.
How does our listeners get to buy your punch needle art if they are interested to buy from it?
Or they can follow me on Soulful Punch Studio on Instagram, and you can send me a DM. Then we can chat about it. You can either order a ready-made piece, or if you want to customize a piece, and we can talk more about it. My catalogs
Okay,
are on my page as well.
that's cool. So for our listeners here, if you want to buy the piece of art, just check on the Instagram Soulful Punch Studio and just drop a DM. That's easy and simple. You can have the customized one or the ready-made one. So the choice is
Yep.
yours. So just now earlier on you mentioned that you are having your first bazaar. When is it going to be? Can you give us a little bit details in case any of our listeners would love to see you physically?
Yeah. I'm very excited to share with you, but also unfortunately because it's an event in an international school. So for safety purpose, it's not open to public, but I'm really happy to share behind the scenes after the bazaar has ended. It would be a charity Christmas bazaar that will support a good cause. So I'm very excited that other than showcasing my work to people who are interested to own a piece as well, I can also contribute to a good cause.
Hey,
That would be this
wonderful.
Friday. Yeah.
It's next Friday. Wishing you all the best in your first ever bazaar.
Thank
And you're
you.
killing two birds with just one stone. All right.
Yep.
Today we have a lovely chat about your passion in punch needle art. And I
Mm-hmm.
hope all our listeners have grabbed all the wisdom from you. And do check out Quilleen's Soulful Punch Studio and DM her for more info if you're interested. That's all for this episode. Thank you and goodbye.